Hello. Hi, beautiful people. It's Alicia here, and I wanted to give an update for the Love Letter Project, which I am so excited to be doing. So, what is the Love Letter Project? The Love Letter Project is a love letter project for Black women. So, I'm spreading love to Black women through song, writing, conversations in the spring, other people's stories, and things like that. I plan on traveling and interviewing people and taking their pictures and just like highlighting Black women, lots of stuff. So basically, it's a love letter to Black women with the art that I am creating. I want to give a few updates because I haven't yet. But I have just been overwhelmed with life, but also like with support and with gratitude. I just want to thank every person that has donated. Thank you so much. I am trying to raise $25,000 to help me to be able to carry out this project well. And there's a lot of things that go into this, a lot of time, a lot of effort. I want to be able to pay people that help me. It's just a lot. So I really appreciate you all donating. I really appreciate you all supporting and sharing and purchasing music and supporting videos and liking and commenting. Like, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. So thank you. I want to start off with gratitude. Thank you so much. So far, we have released, with your help, 4 projects of music, 4 completed works of music. So first is Human, second is Being, third is Feel, and fourth is Release, which just went live today on Spotify. So if you want to check that out, I'll put the link below so you can check it out on Spotify. So those are the 4 projects that I have released so far. The plan was to keep releasing like every single month. What I'm going to do is take a 2-month break. So in December and January, to take a break just because it's like the holiday season. My birthday's in January, and I just need time to rest. And a big part of this campaign is to help me to rest, so I don't have to like rush. The thing about being a full-time artist that a lot of people don't talk about, and I think I'll probably start talking about that more. I love being a full-time artist. Love it. Love creating. Love connecting with people. But it's a lot of work. And I have been a full-time artist for 7 years. For 7 years, I have gone full throttle with what I'm doing, like full throttle with like the ideas and carrying them out. And I'm tired. I'm not tired of creating. I'm tired of creating fast. And so a big part of the project that's coming up is an invitation for Black women to slow down. So I want to launch those during December and January, probably January, just because December, again, holiday season. But in January, we're always like, finish the year strong. And then January comes along and you're like, okay, now, set your goals and like do all these things. Like, we never really have time to really sit down and reflect on what we've done. We don't really have a lot of time, or we don't take time usually to chill and be like, actually, like, is this working? Just to check in. Is this working? Do I want to do this? What feels aligned? What feels right? And I realized trying to put out a project every month was not aligned with the life that I'm trying to live. I'm trying to set the foundations for the artist that I'm trying to be, that I want to be, right? Where a lot of artists, they put out a project, a couple of years later, they put out another project, right? And I'm just like, Alicia, why do you feel the need to put out the project month by month by month? And it's because I want to serve Black women well. I want them to have something to listen to. And I had themes based on the months. So Release was last month in November, right? Or this month, we're still in November. This month in November, because we're in fall, so we're releasing things, right? And December was supposed to be Rage. January was supposed to be Rest. February was supposed to be like Self-Love or something similar. March was supposed to be something else about dreams. Okay. So now I'm taking a 2-month break. And in February, I'm coming back with Rage. Which actually makes a lot of sense. I have a song on that project called No Run, No Fly. And it's basically about Black people and how we don't run, we fly. And it's a song that I wrote for Juneteenth for a project that I was a part of. And that just makes sense, right? It makes sense. And it's really showing me that I don't have to force things, right? Like, it's inviting me to listen to my soul, to trust the timing, to take my time. And that pressure of like, you have to put out something every month, you have to do something, is not coming from other people who are supporting me. Like, that's not why y'all supported me. But like, oh, give me something every month. And I'm realizing like, that's actually internal speak. That's internal pressure, right? That nobody gave me. The call is coming from inside the house. And instead of operating in lack or scarcity or fear, right? Fear, like, when I'm running and rushing to create something, what am I running and rushing to? Where am I running from, right? Like, and usually I'm trying to outrun poverty. I'm trying to outrun the judgment of people, the look. I think a lot of people think that art needs to be productive all the time, and that's not how creativity works. And so trying to make that make sense to people, I have to look busy, right? Like this, I don't want to look lazy. I don't want to look like I'm not doing anything. I don't want to look like, you know, I'm just taking people's money and not doing anything. So I want to make sure that people see like, hey, this is what I'm doing, right? But sometimes that internal speak, I really have to interrogate, because it's not anybody out there. It's like something in here because of something somebody told me. A lot of the voices that we hear, the criticisms that we offer ourselves, are not our voices. The fear, the rushing, that's not a place where I want to create from. I'm trying to build a life that I don't have to run in and run from, right? And escape. Like, no, I'm trying to create at a creator space. And that takes time. It takes energy and effort. And my art is worth my energy, time, and effort, right? And so I'm realizing I'm in a safe place. I'm safe. People are supporting me. I am safe. You are supporting me. I am safe. And that really means a lot to me. So that's the first update. So we've released 4 projects so far. And instead of the feeling of like, I need to do more, it's not enough. I need to give people time to sit with the music, to reflect, right? To savor it. You know what I'm saying? To take their time with it, because I took my time creating it. And I don't want to be like, hey, here's another thing. This ain't McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like handcrafted, like from the heart, like soul food, right? And that's what I want it to be. I want these love songs for Black women to be a soundtrack to their healing. But healing is not rushed. Sometimes we got to sit down with something for a minute and like chew on it and process it. And I'm realizing as an artist that I have not taken the time to do that. I've been putting out music again for 7 years, over and over, like releasing projects over and over again without actually promoting it, without actually celebrating it, without actually talking about it. So that's another update. This Monday, I started a series where I'm talking about the music that I have already released. I have released over 80-something songs already, like whole projects, singles, you know what I'm saying? And I have not, EPs, and I have not promoted it. I have not talked about it. So I'm going all the way back to the beginning, and I'll link the video below here. For last Monday, we were talking about You're More Than You Think You Are, and that was the title of my first track that I ever recorded and released. And so I was creating love letters even back then. I didn't even realize. But when I released that music, I didn't know where I would end up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to sing. And Jamal gave me an opportunity to sing. He produced the track that I sung on. And it's been up from there. It's been creating music from there. It's been seeing what I can do from there. And I'm proud of myself. And so in order to show myself that I'm proud of myself, I'm giving my art the spotlight. I'm giving my heart the spotlight, right? The heart behind the music, why I wrote what I wrote, talking about the lyrics, these kinds of things. Like, I haven't really taken my time with that. So that's another series that I've started for this project, because it all is love letters. All of the songs that I've created are somehow a love letter, like whether it be affirmation, but also honoring people who have passed. I have a whole song, a cover song that I did for my grandmommy who passed away last year, and an ode and an homage to her and my granddaddy's love for one another. So I'm excited I get emotional, but I'm excited to talk about that. So yeah, there's depth to my music, and I think that's one of the things that frustrates me. I think about the music industry is it's about like, what can we put out fast, right? And even though there's a lot of music coming out fast, a lot of the music, and this is no criticism to the artist, it's really the machine, right? It's really like they're trying to put out music like McDonald's. And like for me, I'm trying to, at some point I tried to put myself on that same, I guess like assembly line. If you worked at McDonald's, you know what I'm talking about. When they put the burgers or whatever, the buns, and then wrap it up, put it in. Anyway, it's a whole process. But my music is not McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? And I've been trying to market my music like it is. And I feel like that is actually disrespectful to the work and the time and the energy and the effort and the heart behind what I put out. And I think that the industry makes artists focus on what's going to make the most amount of money, what's going to, get you clout and fame the fastest because you're trying to survive, right? And then later on, you can create your art. You know what I'm saying? Later on, you can create your creative work. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to create my creative art now, and I just got to give it time. Like, I'm planting seeds. I just got to give it time. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's the first update. So thank you. Okay, the second update. So my project is happening in phases, right? So the phase 1 is the music, the phase 2 is the writing, the phase 3 is actually like meeting people, having conversations, interviews, but also having pop-up concerts and like get-togethers, bubbles and picnics and all these other things. That's going to come in the spring, when it gets warmer, because it's freezing now. Like, I don't know what happened to fall. Fall done left. Okay, left the building. It feels like winter to me. Like right now it's 32 degrees outside. Anyway, so in the spring when it gets warmer, I want to have meetups and pop-ups, but I don't want it to just be like centered around me. I want it to be about like collective healing, like conversation, storytelling, highlighting other Black women, right? Because this whole project is for you. It's for Black women. And also I'm open to like what you all would want to see even from this project. If you're inspired by something and you're like, oh, you want to see my process, or oh, I want to see, merch or whatever it is. I'm also working on merch, by the way, merch, but affirmational wear. That's what I want to create. Like I started the Full Well project 10 years ago. And my entire goal for that project was to remind people of what they forgot, that they're loved, that they're enough, that they're beautiful, that they are a work of art, and they should know that full well, right? Marvelous are your works. And I know that full well, that's scripture. And so I want people to know full well that they are marvelous. And so that has always been my heart with everything that I've created, for the most part. Some stuff is just like for my own expression, but even still in that, it's still showing people like, no, like you're still worthy even if you want to create fun stuff. Okay, so I want to create some t-shirt designs, some sweatshirts, different kinds of things. I also want to create postcards and affirmational cards. And so my idea for the postcards is that if you buy one or if you get one, right? So like for my patrons, for example, because they're my patrons, I'm probably just going to send it to them, right? And so if you get one, I want you to actually get two so that you can send it to somebody else to spread love, right? So it'll have a message on the front and then like something on the back. And then on the back, you can write a love letter to your own friend, right? Like you can write a love letter to your friend, sharing that love. And so I don't just want, oh yeah, this is great, but I want people to spread love. That's it, right? Like that's my heart. Like I just, like how lovely would it be to get something in the mail you don't even like, oh, what? Like, wow, how kind of you, right? And the affirmations and the love letters are based on the music that I have put out already and the music that I am releasing. So, excuse me. So I think I'm going to figure out like a time frame to release the things, and like refresh them. But yes, that's the goal right now. So we have the music down. I am writing currently chapbooks to go along with some of the themes that I've been writing, healing things, love letters, affirmations, poetry, prose, literary essays, these kinds of things. So putting those together in a chapbook. Right now the first book that I'm working on is about the body. And I've been wanting to write about the body for Black women, especially like from my experiences too, about my body, my relationship with it, healing my relationship with it, seeing my body as beautiful, allowing my body to be a site of love and joy and peace instead of like criticism and like all these things that the world gives me. And there's different levels to talk about that because I have a song called Body Beautiful that I'm going to be putting out in the spring. And it's actually on my YouTube page. If you look it up, it's there. But yeah, so Body Beautiful. And so I think that's going to be the title of the book, of the chapbook. And after I write all the chapbooks on all the topics I'm going to talk about, I'm going to put it together in a collection. And I have a title for that, but I'm still marinating on it. But anyway, so yes, we have the music, we have the writing. I feel like I'm all over the place, but hopefully you're following. Hopefully I'm not too confusing. But I got the music, I got the writing. In the spring, the pop-up sessions, I'm going to be planning where to pop up. So if you are interested in me coming to your area, let me know, okay? We're going to get in the Prius and we're going to get down. All right, we're going to show up at the parks. We can meet up at national parks, regional parks, your local parks, places that we can come together. But I really want it to be in nature. I really want to be in nature. So yeah, so that's the goal. And in the meantime, in between time, while I am resting my voice to record more music for February, in January, like I said, I want to launch something. Right now, the name in my head is Slow and Savor. And it's a place for Black women to come in and to slow down and to consider and to think about things, to release some things, to have conversations, to, have conversations like a verbal journal with one another, being able to process things and talk about things that, even though we talk about it on the channel, it's different to be able to be in space with people and talk about these things. Talk about different topics. So yes. And I'm allowing that to become what it will become. I don't have hard expectations for this. It really is just like a place, and people can come in, they can donate what they want to donate. Maybe there will be a set price. I don't know. Like, I don't know how I'm feeling about that yet. I want it to be accessible for all people, and so maybe people can just donate so it can go donate to my project, you know what I mean, to helping me to create this project and facilitate this space. And I guess that's another thing I want to talk about, money. So I am about 10% 10% of the way to the goal. So again, thank you so much. Asking for money for me is hard, just gonna be honest. Asking people for money is hard because I have a lot of money trauma. A lot of us tend to do. I have a lot of money trauma, a lot of trauma around not having enough money. And also like a trauma around asking for help, right? Because we've been taught that, like, oh, you know, God helps those who help themselves, right? But at the same time, it's like y'all say, it's like closed mouths don't get fed, these kinds of things. Like, and so we're shamed and people are confused, like, can I ask for help or whatever? This asking for help financially has been such an exercise for me, to humble myself to humble myself and ask for help, because I need help. I've been actually needing help for a long time, but I haven't said anything because I'm just like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna muscle through. I'm gonna come up with a business plan. I'm gonna do these things. But I was exhausted and like I didn't have anything else. Like, if you look at the past 7 years, like, I've been putting out music, I've been putting out programs, I've been teaching people, I've been doing concerts, I've been doing a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And I needed help, but asking for help made me feel like a failure. It made me feel like, oh, I'm not independent. I must not be that successful because, or my music must not be that good if people aren't buying it like that. I don't know. It's a lot, right? It's a lot of internal work that I need to do, and I'll be processing that with you live time, like in real time, like I'm doing now. But yeah, I appreciate you all responding well to me asking for help, because it was really, really, really hard. It was really, really, really hard. Afraid of shame, afraid of judgment, afraid of disappointment, afraid of people being like, girl, bye, right? Afraid of rejection, afraid of not being able to put out the art that I want to in the quality, in the way that I want to, because I'm always stuck in survival mode. I have been in survival mode for a long time, and it's hard. It's exhausting. Poverty is hard. Poverty is exhausting. Especially when you're trying to create art, because everyone everywhere is telling you that this is not the thing you should do because you're poor, right? A lot of poor people have to give up their dreams, because people tell them that they don't have the right to dream because they're not doing, I don't know how to explain it, that they have to reach a certain financial income status before they chase their dreams. And I'm just glad that I can, even in my experiencing poverty, I can still create, I can still support other people, I can still share, I can still facilitate spaces. Like, we have a group that meets every Tuesday, and I'm able to share space with beautiful, wonderful women who are not only like just there for themselves, but also for each other, right? Like, they're not just there to get something for themselves, they're there to support each other. I think that's absolutely beautiful. I'm grateful. Like, I'm grateful. When I'm not thinking about the money, I'm so full. Like, I'm so fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta pay bills, but I have to do these things, and my heart is always to serve, and I hate capitalism, but we're here. And so because we're here, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the money. I am very grateful for the money, and I'm still trying to raise money. So if you feel so inclined, please support me. Please donate. I'll put the link again below. What else do I want to update on? How are y'all doing? That's what I want to ask y'all. How y'all doing? In the spring, as in January or February, I want to also start putting together. So remember the video I put out when it says, like, why do you love Black women? I want to get back to that. I want to get back to compilations of Black women sharing their experiences, and we'll talk about, like, why you love Black women. We'll also talk about, like, what was your first memory of falling in love? Like sharing Black women's stories that we don't ever hear. When you're online, you just see a lot of, like, BS, like a lot of, like, Black woman trauma, and though that some of that is a part of our story, right? I still want to focus too on Black woman joy. Like, what makes you happy? What brings you peace? How do you rest, right? So other people can hear from other Black women, like, and they can see what is possible. They can be reminded of their humanity, right? They can be reminded that they are not what they make. They are not their work, their job. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things. So I'm going to start doing that again, probably either next month, as in December, or January. But it's a lot going on. But I wanted to update you all. Do you all have any questions? Please let them, I don't know if this is a good update, but if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them, comment, email me. Yeah, what have I been using the money for? Groceries, rest, the dues that I have to pay. So when you upload music, you still got to pay, right? You have to pay for the things. Like, I'm using the money for the art, but also for the resting and the creativity. So I'm grateful. So thank you so much for seeing me as worthy, thank you for supporting me and seeing me as talented, as all the beautiful things that you all are saying. That I'm just like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. Because I'm grateful and accepting. I told you I'm working on accepting compliments, because it is humbling. It really is humbling. When people are saying kind things to you, it makes me feel good, but it also makes me feel responsible. It makes me feel responsible for the work that I'm doing, for how I show up, how I'm honoring people. When people give me money, I want to honor their money. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure their money is going towards something good, something, honoring. And that could also be trauma. Like, girl, enjoy yourself, right? But I'm using the money right now to create and to rest. And so I'm grateful, because being an artist is tough. Being an artist can be tough. It's fun, but it can be tough. So thank you so much for seeing me. Again, we're 10% of the way there. We got 90% to go. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. Thank you to my patrons. I love y'all. Thank you to my patrons. I love y'all. Whether you belong to my Patreon family that you've committed to joining for paying monthly, thank you so much for your support. They always get the first listens to the albums, they vote on things. They get my secret podcast that I have over there, where I listen to music and I dissect songs that I love. I have conversations with other people. That more episodes are coming for that. Patreon is my playground without like monetization being tied to it, because YouTube is like a tricky place, right? If you don't meet their requirements or follow everything to a T, they'll demonetize you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just whatever. So Patreon, I'm able to play. I'm able to create without like the algorithm, without like the bots, you know what I'm saying? So I have fun over there. On Ko-Fi, thank you so much for those who donated one-time donations. I really appreciate that. It goes a long, long, long way. If you just want to do a one-time donation, that link is below. It's ko-fi.com/Alicia Renice. And then my Patreon is patreon.com/Alicia Renice. What else? My members, my YouTube members, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. It goes a long way. I'm thinking about shutting down my membership and just doing Patreon and Ko-Fi, because that's a whole other thing. So when you donate money to a person on YouTube takes 50% off top. YouTube takes 50% of whatever people are donating and giving to you on super chats, on membership fees, that kind of stuff. Like, they take 50% of that money, and I want to recoup that money. Like, I have thoughts, and I'll share those later about YouTube, but I really feel like YouTube is a great place. However, they're greedy, and they work as like a plantation. Like, you're doing all this work without content creators, YouTube would not exist, right? And they know that, but still they're like, oh, to allow you to be here, I'm going to take 50% of your earnings and then give you the rest. It's like, no, I'm doing all the work. My people are doing all the work. My people are giving me funding, right? And so I want to take that power and control. And there's just more perks over on Patreon, because it's easier to do stuff on Patreon than it is on YouTube. It's a whole thing. But I also want to have monthly meetups with my patrons. So we will meet in December at some point to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Whatever you want to talk about. So I'll put like a poll or something to vote on, or just leave suggestions, just to shoot the breeze, talk to one another, catch up. But yes, that are all my updates. I think as far as the Love Letter Project goes. Now, if you want to talk about other stuff, I got a lot of other stuff that I'm doing. But for the Love Letter Project, that is the update. The update is thank you. Thank you. We're 10% of the way there. You all have boosted my self-esteem, my confidence. This is a practice of bravery to ask for help. And so you all have helped me be brave. You all have helped me to exercise my brave muscle. And having the support and the love of community of Black women, of the Black community, of other people. Like, it just, I love it. I don't have no words. I'm grateful. So I love you. This has been long enough, but I will talk to you all in the next one. All right, see y'all soon. Bye.